cobwebs in my mind, I can't get them out, no matter how hard I try. I need you and your heart next to mine. Yeah, I'm all about keeping it you and I. When you're here, you spark chemical reactions. Your aura strikes like lightning. Got no words, I'm just drowning in attraction. Only one way to describe it. It's electric, can you feel it? You got the only touch that takes me high. It's electric, I'm up in my feelings. Got double vision 'cause of you tonight. It's electric.
Guys, let me just be real, okay? I will just have to be very much be real with you about Johnny Somali. You guys got no idea how really so bad it is that not only are the leaks the only problem, apparently the entire plot. The entire plot. So it really comes down to this point. It comes down to the entire point as to how and why this all happened in the first place. And so it comes to this point in which we have to tell ourselves, yeah, this guy should not even be remotely streaming if the only thing that he should do is go viral without facing any consequences to his actions. This entire time, we were being led wrong to him being the culprit. Okay? I'm gonna be real with you. I thought that he was actually the one who actually started this entire thing. But holy shit, when I actually checked him out more, when I actually looked into it, and when I actually checked with other creators, especially those who were into his server, because I was not able to get any more information from his server. Basically, I abandoned my information gathering. Okay? But when I kept looking into the reasoning as to why he still doesn't even want to fall back from his evil ways, now this shit makes sense. I came across a 15 minutes of shame breaking news video. And let's just say, not only does it not paint Johnny Somali in a good light, but also it's so much worse. It's absolutely so much worse. Let me just remove the cursor because I thought the cursor will not show, but it did. It does. This is a video from 15 minutes of shame. Okay, a video that I will definitely be reacting to, but I watched this a couple of times. But I am just making sure. Okay, I'm just making absolutely sure that everyone else has an idea what you're going to be what you're going to be watching. Oh, hey, Alexander. It's actually cool. It's actually cool. It's cool, Alex. Thank you at least for checking my content at least. It's no problem if you haven't actually been active for a while. I know. Yeah. Probably need a break or something. That is actually what I presume. That's what I actually assume. So thank you, Alex. Thank you very much for checking things out at least. I really appreciate the presence you have. Moderator, whether it's on the Discord or the YouTube or not, it's really, if it's all things, I really thank you. And I was a bit worried about where you were, Alex, but at least you showed up. You are actually a person who exists. You're cool. You're cool, Alex. I'm just gonna reply to him. Anyway, that's set up. It definitely will need to talk to him later. Alex is one of my Discord mods, so yeah. So basically, the scoop of it is from 15 Minutes of Shame. Apparently, the entire time, the friend that Johnny calls as a friend is actually a gold digger. Gold digger. Yeah, you actually heard me right. You actually heard me right. Gold digger. Anyway, profiting from the chaos. Now it makes sense. Now it makes absolute sense. Let's go ahead and watch it.
All right, so we have breaking news. Johnny Somali just got backstabbed by his best friend and oldest ally, Trell. Now, if you don't know who Trell is, he's the owner of Johnny Somali's Discord. He's been helping Johnny Somali become the nuisance streamer that he is. And yesterday, I just had a 30-minute long interview with him where he revealed everything. Now, he even admitted to being the puppet master that controls Johnny and pulls the strings. So strap in, this is going to be really interesting. So how did this all begin? Well, Trell was pissed off that I was leaking stuff happening in his Discord. I have several spies in there. So he
basically 15 Minutes of Shame went all in, okay? Let me just be real. He went all in on this shit and made sure that he had spies inside the Discord server. That's how meticulous this guy is, bro. That is how really meticulous how meticulous he is when it comes to information gathering. He's the guy. He's the man. He really makes this shit work.
wrote this PSA on the Johnny Somali Discord, which is his, at everyone, just so it's clear, I will be going after these low-life stalker content creators. Y'all cross the line leaking our Discord and trying to build content off Johnny's name. I don't care how small or big your platform is, I'm going to do my background checks and every one of you will be addressed accordingly. This isn't a game, you wanted attention, now you've got it. Don't ever mistake silence for weakness. You don't F with the pirates and walk away clean.
Yeah, unfortunately, that's a there are some delusions here. Okay, let me just be clear. There are actual delusions here. All right. You don't fuck with the pirates and walk away clean. Here's the thing. The pirates are dirty. Whether they like it or not.
The vice captain of the Johnny Somali crew, Trell. After that, he reached out to me in my Discord, and what he probably wanted to be a confrontational conversation ended up being a 30-minute long interview where he revealed a lot more information that he wanted to. Now, before I showed...
No, I'm not sure. Okay. When I actually watched the video, I'm not actually sure if he screwed up by telling too much. But I think he did screw up by telling a bit too much, and that this is the first time he's heard of 50 minutes of shame and shit. And that he's only going to subscribe to him just basically shit.
you the conversation, I just want to tell you guys a little bit about my interviewing style. I've done this before. I interviewed WWE wrestler
Val Venus, by the way. Yeah, I recognize the guy actually. So I didn't know that he turned into a sovereign citizen. Damn.
Val Venus when he became a sovereign citizen. And I go into this very slowly. I don't go in aggressive because then you're just going to turn the person away. You go in smoothly and you extract information. And I'm pretty damn good at it, as you're about to find out. This is how it started. He said, I got a bone to pick with you, young buck.
The way his language. Oh my god, this language, bro.
I said, what's up, homie? He said, what's up with leaking unnecessary shit in my Discord server for content? And then I said, that's your Discord? Keep in mind, at that point, I had no clue who this guy was. I saw him in Johnny's Discord. He was showing these parties that he was hosting, and that's all I knew. I didn't know he was Trell. And he said, yes. Well, I said, I think you just answered your question. It's for content. Then he
Yeah.
said, you content creators got nothing else to milk out of Johnny, that now you're going after his slow community members? And then I said, well, Johnny's a free speech advocate, so a little bit of transparency shouldn't hurt anyone, right?
Yes. Yes, you're using his own words. Yes, you're using his own words against him. Nice.
He said, that's bottom feeder behavior. You're not exposing transparency, you're digging for scraps, hoping Johnny's name gets you clicked. And I said, and on top of that, it's one of your mods that's feeding me all the info. Brother, I have plenty of channels. Johnny Somali only counts for maybe 10% of the views I get per month.
Basically, it's an information grab, and they don't even know at first it was 50 minutes of shame until it became apparent. Until it became absolutely apparent, and then they realized, oh shit, this is him. Sucks to be them. Really just sucks to be them.
Which is not a lie. And then he said, I don't care about you making the content on Johnny, but leave my server out of it. And then I told him, let me ask you, you run a business, right? Hosting parties? He said, I sure do. I said, you're trying to make something good out of your life. Why even bother befriending a loser like Johnny?
That's the actual question. Why even bother befriending a loser like Johnny if this guy, Trell, is running a business hosting parties? That's the question. That's the question I was actually pointed to when I first listened to it. So I told myself, "Hey, wait a second. No way is this. No way is Trell actually cashing in on the chaos." Because that's the first thing that came up to my mind. It really just came up to my mind. Wait, so chaos is also its own currency? I didn't want to believe it myself, but I had to keep listening to it. So yeah.
And then he said, even though Johnny does ignorant shit, he's still my friend. I don't agree with everything he does, but we've been through too much together to let that break our bond. When things got rough, we stood solid, and that kind of loyalty is rare. Those are the friends you hold on to no matter what, even if he's hated by multiple countries.
Even if. So you don't care about what the law says? You don't care about how society treats people if they're out of line? That's what I asked myself, okay? That's what I asked myself, and that's what I'm supposedly asking Trell. If he's actually responding like this about his loyalty to Ramzi Khalid Ismail, okay? So that's what I'm asking myself this entire time. Trell is loyal even though Ramzi Khalid Ismail is hated by different people who knows and absolutely believes he is antisocial, but is actually an actor because there's a plot to it? So Trell believes there's still a plot. The problem here's the problem. Johnny Somali thinks it's the real plot. Okay? Trell, you don't know what you made. You don't know the kind of piece of shit monster you actually made right from the beginning, bro. You don't know what you made, bro. And then you call him your friend because no, no, you're still exploiting from the chaos he's making, bro. That's not what a friend does.
I told him, man, I don't know if I believe you because Johnny screws over a lot of his friends when they can't help him anymore. He didn't pay dirty in Thailand.
Yeah, there's also that thing about Ramsey Khalid Ismail, Johnny Somali, him not paying his own bodyguard when he was still in Thailand before he went to Japan, of course.
He's going to screw over Hank at some point.
Yes, that's also true.
He talks about how small his dick is on a live stream. And he said, yeah, he might have handled things with those foreigners in a way I wouldn't, but that's between them and him.
Dude, you're as much as responsible for his actions, bro.
Me and him move differently, and how he deals with others has nothing to do with the bond we built. And I responded by saying, if you say so. He said, I was actually the one who gave Johnny the idea to go to Japan and pull that Hiroshima stunt, just to see how people would react. Looking back, I already feel bad knowing how much it ended up impacting him. The last thing I'd ever do now is turn my back on him.
You're so you're still going to be loyal to him while still exploiting at him. No, no. Here's the thing. You are exploiting from the chaos. You are enabling the guy. You give him more ideas to actually be antisocial, and you're going to actually earn from it. No, pull him in so that you all can earn from it. There is a big monetary problem that needs to be looked at, considering you're also leaking this. If this actually comes out to be true, you're also going to be intruded on this trail. You are absolutely going to be included in this.
Especially when I'm the one who pushed the snowball down the hill in the first place. And I said, damn.
Remember, Trell, I'm speaking to you, okay? Let me be absolutely clear about this. Let me be absolutely clear about this. Anyone who is financially involved with Johnny Somali, the AKA of Ramsi Khalid Ismail, anyone involved with his financial activities at any time when he was doing his news and streaming, especially those at stake, arrested. Okay? A stake executive was arrested because of that shit. Okay? If I'm correct, that's actually what happened. A stake executive was arrested. I think I'm not sure if he was arrested or he turned himself in. Verify my sources if we can. But basically, that's what happened. Okay, one executive was arrested because of these shits because this happened. All right.
Damn, you created a demon, homie. And he said, obviously, but everything else is.
As for Trell, he made the plans. He made the suggestions. Johnny went and did it, and Johnny became what he is eventually perceived as a nuisance streamer with nothing to do but repeat and proliferate antisocial activity that breaks society.
Is his own doing. He came to me and asked how to go viral, and I gave him.
This is the situation. He asked how he would go viral. And this is the big problem. The blade swings both ways. Once you get the answers to how you get viral, okay? The blade swings both ways. You either get broken because of the negativity that you receive, or you get famous because all these things that you're doing that will not matter. Here's the thing. The first time you did it, you got a lot of backlash. You should have adjusted from there. You should have thought of doing something else, Johnny Smalley, because all the negativity that is going to you has cost you, and you never changed trajectory. You were earning, yes, but is it worth the fame? Is it worth all the infamy? Is it worth all the infamy that you would still repeat this and then you would be hated by not only Japan and then eventually by Israel? You got you got to eventually be deported from Japan, and then you had to escape Israel, and then you would come to South Korea while you are already banned from platforms, two streaming platforms, Twitch and Kick, and you still wouldn't change. You would keep doing these things because you were also being helped. You were also being suggested to do these things. To do these things. Nuisance streaming is already bad for you, and you keep doing this, even if you earn money, because you know you would know eventually that the law would be used against you, and you still did not listen. This is karma. Basically, this is already karma acting against you, and you still didn't listen.
Him an idea. I said, that's the problem with him. He's so thirsty for clout, he will do anything to go viral. And he said, yeah, and now he's blacklisted by damn near every platform. And I said, you don't need to do dumb shit to be a successful influencer. He said, I told him after this Korea shit is done and over to just come home and let's get back into this trading shit. Hopefully he takes a break from traveling, but he's a grown man, can't convince him to do stuff. And I told him, you think he's coming home anytime soon? And he said, I mean, by the look of things, he's gonna get a 5 to 10 year ban from visiting South Korea. I told him, you really think he's only getting a ban? And he said, yeah, that's usually how it goes. He got banned in Japan, Israel, and now it's gonna be Korea. I told him, you might be disappointed because he even came to accept that he's most likely doing some time in prison. Things are different though, 7 charges, and they take the deepfakes very seriously. He said, none of these charges are aggravated, and the deepfake was created by his community. I don't even know why he admitted to guilt to that one. I said, your info is inaccurate. He pled not guilty to the deepfakes. He said, okay, well, I heard he pled guilty. I said, yeah, he pled guilty to a few, but not the deepfakes. He said, either way, I doubt he'll do serious time in jail, just a simple travel ban so the Korean don't gotta deal with him anymore. I said, I highly doubt it. He said, I guess we'll have to wait until August. I told him, you know, Johnny said he would debate anyone. I offered to debate him through Davinsky, and he backed out. I would have given him a legit chance at explaining his side, which is 100% true, by the way. I did offer Johnny Somali a chance to debate, but he's too scared. He said he'll probably do it if I tell him to, but it's like, what benefit does he get out of it? Nothing. That's why he's not doing any interviews.
Yeah, because he knows he's in the deep end and he won't be able to defend himself all the same. Basically.
I told him, well, it depends how it goes. I have interviewed Ops before. I even interviewed Val Venus, the WWE wrestler. If he does good, he could change the public opinion, but if he's not that confident in his position, then I guess it won't help him. He said, we passed the point of public opinion. I said, yeah, I guess so. He said, I told Johnny there's no point in trying to be a good guy. Then I told him, you know, August is just another hearing, right? This is going to drag for ages. He said, this may be bad advice from a friend, but I told him just to be more evil.
And this is why Trell is a bastard. He keeps exploiting Johnny and keep profiting from the chaos and keeps returning the investment towards the ones who are investing in his chaos and paying Johnny to do more bullshit. Basically, they're making him do more outrageous stuff that's already harming society the way it is. Seriously. Trill is enabling the piece of shit to do more. Just like Hank, just like, look, we need to hold even these enablers to the same standard as nuisance streamers, okay? Especially if they're the ones who keep telling these nuisance streamers to even do these in the first place. Christopher Slyke Dantes, no exception, too, okay?
I said, bruh. He said, he's in too deep to try and be good. Now, this is where it gets really weird. So he identified himself as Trell. I said, oh, yeah, the guy in the hotel room. And then I asked him, gotcha. So, what do you think you will accomplish by having Johnny being more evil? What's the end game? He said, my end game is simple. I'm building a brand. Johnny's already a billboard with millions of eyes on him, but he hasn't been able to fully monetize that reach. That's where I come in. I'm launching a trading group focused on real investments and financial growth and pairing it with lifestyle branding through major parties and events. I make money through smart plays and creating real world impact, not just clout. Johnny brings in the attention, I turn it into profit. That's the vision, and it's already in motion. I told him I'm all about money, but I'm having trouble connecting the dots with this one, to be honest. You make parties, charge at the entrance, and this relates to Johnny. How?
Exactly. Even that's what I'm trying to be clear on. Okay, I'm trying to get clarity on. Okay, because here's the thing: Trell hosts parties, sure, but what does that have to do with Johnny? If it's everything, then it's Trell basically milking Johnny for the chaos that Johnny is doing for the. Oh my god! Oh my god! You still call Johnny your friend? But for fuck's sake, you are twisted in the head, bro. Something's not right in the head, bro. Something's just not adding up, bro.
He said, that's not all I do. That's just a front end of things to get people's attention on my side. My real revenue comes from swing trading stock options. That's how I help Johnny stay afloat in Korea. He said, so you are financing Johnny's survival in Korea? He has been giving all the credit to Hank. He said, you can say I helped Johnny trade stocks and make a profit. Yes. Then I said, so you want to bring him in to pull in customers? He said, yep. I said, the problem with that is that he already pulled a rug pull on his viewers. Remember the Somali coin?
Yeah. The Somali coin was Johnny Somali's attempt at investing in and making people invest in cryptocurrency. And that in itself was a mistake, basically. He's trying to rug pull everyone just to make sure he got the money and everything, bro.
He said, I told his ass not to do that. He did it anyways. That low-key pissed me off. I'll say, well, there goes all his credibility. He says, but that doesn't ruin my image. I said, he'll never be trusted in the crypto space after pulling a rug pull. He said, my goal is to help Johnny make $250,000 and he gonna showcase all of his trades and give me credit so I can launch my trading group.
Here's the problem with that. Johnny doesn't play. Johnny isn't a team player. And even if you want him to actually be a team player, what is the guarantee that he will actually give you credit after helping him achieve that thing? The thing is, his repeated behavior tells him otherwise, that he will only make sure that he's got the fame, that he's got the money, and that he won't care for others. He made that clear repeatedly. Repeatedly, Trell. And you still have that mindset of go broke or go home? Seriously? Seriously? That's still your mindset, Trell? You're just being sad now.
I said, that's ambitious. Johnny just brings down everyone around him. To be honest, though, I highly doubt he will bring anything positive to your business. So remember earlier when he was talking about their unbreakable bond? Now it's becoming very clear that this guy created Johnny Somali by telling him to do all this nuisance stuff just to exploit him for his own gain. With friends like these, you don't need enemies.
Yeah, I absolutely agree. Why would you need to even why would you need to it's just it's just funny to me sometimes. It is.
But let's keep reading because now it's gonna get deep. All right, so he said, I mean, the plan is in motion. He is doing as I say, and that's to get millions of attention. Well, I'll say, well, not anymore, right? He isn't streaming. He said he doesn't have to stream. All Johnny has to do is to stay relevant. And I said, I know a thing or two about building a brand. I'm working on getting 2 more silver play buttons this year. By the way, about that, I'm only missing 26,000 subscribers for one of those extra silver play buttons.
Which is actually a good thing. Holy shit.
So if you enjoyed the videos and you appreciate the effort that goes into it, please subscribe to the channel. But let's get back to reading. I said the one thing that your audience needs is consistency, and your Discord proves it, bro. People are bored out of their minds. One of your high-ranking mod is leaking everything. The ship is sinking. I just saw your PSA on Johnny's Discord. What's your plan? To dox anyone who leaks anything? And he says, doxing don't solve nothing. Me having a one-on-one conversation is how issues gets fixed. And I said, well, we are talking now, right? You seem smart. I'm sure you're seeing my side. Johnny's a depraved clout chaser that will do anything for attention no matter who he hurts. And I report on it, which is totally expected. He said, I do see your side and I understand it. I just don't want people seeing that I run the server and I'm condoning everything that goes on in it. I'll say, well, why run it then if it's bad for your name? He said, I assumed Johnny's server would be flooded with thousands of haters. And I said, to be honest, I had no clue it was your server. I thought Johnny was the operator. He said, which is what I was hoping on. I asked him, so you want bad press? He said,
So, yeah, that's what I'm also asking myself. Why does Trell want to fill the server with haters? Basically, for the content, for clout, for money, actually. Now it makes sense. This is depressing. This is absolutely depressing. And he wants to keep joining this flow, this river flow. It's just sad, bro.
says, here's the irony. I actually help the haters make money from my trades. While they throw shade and send TTS to try to get Johnny in trouble, they're still following my plays and profiting off my moves. Johnny takes the heat, stays relevant, and keeps the spotlight on us, and I turn that attention into capital.
And the end, it's capitalism with your piece of shit. Trell, let me just make this very clear to you. You are a very, very insidious, dirty hog. Maybe you don't make capital yourself and you have others invest on this. Here's the problem with what you're doing. You're not even morally affected by this. You're not a content creator. You don't push for what a content creator should be. You push for what a cloud chaser should be, which just makes you an enabler, an enabler, a full-time enabler of these actions. I hope when Johnny actually does get sentenced, they'll be coming for you next, and that they will actually charge you to the fullest extent of the law, to the point that even your freedoms are going to be taken away. Trell, you are absolutely sad. You're absolutely sad and profiting from all this. And you're just using the chaos to fill the pockets of others who are investing in the same way. You are a sad guy. Antisocial enabler. You are an antisocial enabler. You don't even care what the law says. You're not even morally affected by this. You don't have any regrets either. You are a sad man, Trell. You're absolutely sad.
They clown him in public, but behind the scenes, we are all eating because of me. That's the difference. I turn chaos into currency. Now, I'm not following this whatsoever. Maybe I'm not some 4D chess genius crypto guy, but this is not adding up to me. I told him, but if you want the haters to cover Johnny, why are you tripping that they are leaking the Discord? It's not adding up. Either you want to be associated with him or you don't. He said, because now Johnny is getting paranoid and wants to lock shit up. It's messing with my plan. I said, you mean the content or the Discord? He said, Discord. I wanted the server to be flooded with haters, not gatekept. And I said, well, the problem with that is that Johnny is sensitive. I came in there with my real account. I was talking for some time, going back and forth with some mods. He said, my next plan is to tell Johnny to start streaming on stage on Discord. I said, they even called me a derogatory name for Indians.
Oh my God.
I said, but then they blocked me. I think Johnny is too scared to stream anymore and Hank won't let him. You might be giving him money, but he lives in Hank's apartment.
Exactly. Hank is not allowing him to stream on his own anymore, considering that Johnny Somali is only doing things for clout, and it's actually clear. And Hank's parents absolutely hate Hank for even allowing and enabling this behavior.
And then he said, I'm going to talk to him tonight to see what's happening with that situation, because I don't know what's happening between him and Hank. And now he said, well, there's always a way around things. You'll see soon. I gotta go. Good talk. I said, well, thanks for the interview. He said, feel free to use any information you gathered today. I don't care if it gets leaked. I said, anything else you want to add? It'll make a great video. He said, make sure to show them my Instagram page. And then I said, don't you think Johnny will be pissed that you gave this interview? And he said, nope. I said, you revealed a lot. He said, because at the end of the day, I'm the puppet master. I said, you're playing him like a tool. Look out for the video tomorrow. He said, bet. I said, make sure to hit that like button. But after a while, he came back with some additional information. He sent me these screenshots, and these screenshots...
This is the important part. To prove that he was actually involved from the beginning in South Korea. These are the actual fucking spots, bro. This is a fucking case closed thing. Not only is he exploiting Johnny from the chaos and profiting off, but he's absolutely the one who's actually enabling him and telling him to do these things in the first place. This is the thing. These are the actual sites. I'm not sure if all of them were visited, but statue. It is unbelievably shit, bro. This is how bad it is. And enablers who are closely monitoring and enabling the actions of a nuisance streamer should be held responsible. Held to the same fucking standard as these nuisance streamers, because they enabled the guy. And as soon as this nuisance streamer is actually sentenced, I hope Trell goes away from the internet permanently, because once it all comes crashing down on Ramzi Khalid Ismail, and I know it will, considering the severity of the crimes, Trell will not be easily forgiven, and he will be also sought out. Absolutely, this guy will also be sought out. No way that he won't be sought out. That he won't be. Seriously, come on.
Are proof that he gave the instructions to Johnny Somali on how to find the statues in South Korea and mess with them. It shows here that Johnny Somali's account was terminated or deleted, so you can't see what he said, but here are all the statues that he sent to him. So this guy is majorly playing Johnny Somali. He's having him do all sorts of dumb shit, and he's doing that so he can exploit their friendship to try to turn it into a profit. And what's really funny about this is that as this conversation was happening, he was talking in his Discord. Now, remind you, I have multiple spies in there. Most of them are moderators, so I was able to see everything, and this is what he had to say. Now, he said, my master plan is getting leaked tomorrow anyways, and then he showed a couple screenshots. He said vice captain won't let the captain go down alone, and he said, in short, you took the fall. He said, F it. And then this other guy said, funny thing is 15 minutes is rating all of this right now. Then he said, I told him that I took advantage of Johnny's mental health issues for my evil plans. This other guy said, that sounds like a stretch. And he said, not really. Then he said, you'll see the video tomorrow and understand everything. And then he said, free Johnny Somali. The other guy said, that means you open the door for more charges to come up. If that's the case, I'm surprised you didn't email Legal Mindset. And then he showed us screenshots and he said, real friends don't let him go down alone. And then someone said, how do you try to finesse but get finessed by a finesser but both feel like you won? Which is hilarious. Now, honestly, I don't know what was his intention at first, but one thing's for sure, he revealed a lot more than he probably wanted to. Now, that's it for the video. I just want you guys to keep in mind a lot of effort went into this. I was talking to this guy for like 35 minutes, gathering all the screenshots, so please subscribe to the channel. Let's get to 100,000 and get that extra silver play button. I would really appreciate that. Thank you in advance, and I'll see you guys on the next one.
Oh my god. Oh my god, guys. It's just... that was absolutely real, and it is insane. Oh my god, that is absolutely insane, bro. That is absolutely insane. Oh my god. I can't believe this. I can't believe this. It's really unbelievable. Damn, I can't believe this. Oh, wow. Guys, this is going to require that I actually process all this properly without any problems. Okay? Considering that Johnny Somali is not alone, he is actually directed. This entire time, he was directed. Directed to do these things, and worse. The actual guy is profiting, and at the same time, he's having others invest in these actions that he's doing. And basically, it's come to a point that, yeah, both of them are in the same ship. Both of them are on the same boat. And Trell, he doesn't care if he's going down with the ship. He's going down with Johnny Somali if there's a sentencing, and if he's looked for. He doesn't care. That's how fucking antisocial these two are. That's how fucking antisocial these two are. I'm gonna really just declare it here. Trell himself is a menace. I'm saying it. Trell himself is a menace. Period. No other way for me to say it, but he's an absolute menace. Trell is a really sad guy. He enabled someone to be the face of chaos, and he's just... this is all a sad thing. Oh my god, you are so sad, bro. You're absolutely so sad, bro. Okay, hold on. I'm just gonna, like, mute my shit first so that I'm gonna be talking to one of my mods. So, yeah.
insane. Boo-hoo, poor you, please forgive me, cause I don't feel any pity. I'm fed up with lies, you wanted my demise. Now you're watching me rise, rise, rise. Up in the window, smaller and smaller you fade out. Up, up, up in the window, yeah. You cannot kill my vibe, no there's no way. I'm flying high above all your gravity, trying to bring me down, but I'll never stay. Hey, hey, watch me levitate. You cannot kill my vibe, no there's no way. You can say what you want, call me insane, trying to bring me down, but I'll never stay. broken dreams in my pocket. Golden thing round my neck like a locket. Carve your name in my mind, 'cause you caught it. You caught it. You're golden, golden. Honestly, you know it. Meet under the street light at the young, so I could show you. You're golden, golden. Honestly, you're golden.
Guys, I'll be real. Guys, I'll actually be very real with you. If you got a Discord server and you talk well with your mods, well, it doesn't matter if you have a personal attachment or not. Be very, very cordial with them, because even whenever, even if they are actually paid or not, it doesn't matter. Be cordial with them. Be very respectful with them. Especially if you have a community, whether it's so, no matter what size. Okay, be very, very respectful of your mods, because they do shit for you. They do well for you, whether they are paid with shit or not. Whatever their how do I say this? Whatever their goalposts are in life, just be sure to respect their efforts when it comes to helping out in your community. Okay? Moderators do so much for you. Okay? Just make sure to recognize their talents, recognize their presence, recognize their worth, considering they still have worth in your community. Okay? That's how you can definitely be friendly towards towards people in the community. That's how you become so much better when it comes to shit. Okay. Anyways, I get some shit to take care of. I think I'll be back for, I'm not sure how long. Okay, hold on. I just gotta handle. Okay, it's not a big deal. Okay, hold on. Let me just check my schedules for now before I do anything else. Oh my. Okay. So schedules for today. Today is June 11th. June 11th. She's got my sister has a night shift at night, so we'll be streaming for the day. You guys can actually say hi, and I'll just be doing some edits as usual. And I'm also going to upload that actual reaction from 15 Minutes of Shame, because holy shit, there is no way Johnny Somali is going to recover from that thing. Seriously, it's just how and why? How and why that happened? How and why that happened? Trell was the one who enabled and guided Johnny Somali in every action he did. So that's where it really began. So that's how it really began. Goddamn. Well, guys, I'll be seeing you guys much later. I'll make sure to be appropriate when it comes to my grandma. So my grandma needs me. This is the morning after all. All right, I will be seeing you guys later. So, yeah.